Welcome to the Note to Self podcast. I'm your host, Zoe. I'm a certified professional life coach, serial entrepreneur, verified YouTuber, and published author. On this podcast, you can expect actionable tips, reflections, and inspiration to live your best, most fulfilling life. So, let's get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Note to Self. Today's Note to Self is what to do when you're triggered by an intuitive reading. So, first of all, let's all just take a deep breath. I want to validate that it can feel totally uncomfortable to invest time and money into something that you feel was disappointing and or triggering in different ways. And I want to let you know that you're not alone in this, as I have felt it many a times. And actually, just recently in this past week, I was triggered by an intuitive reading. This is also something that my friends and I have had conversations around. It is something that my clients have brought to one-on-one coaching sessions. So it's natural that if you're dabbling in this world of speaking to different psychics or mediums or readers of any kind, that you might come across a trigger. So today I'm going to be offering you a very powerful reframe, one that will ultimately help you in shaking it off and washing off any of those icky feelings you might feel when someone tries to tell you what your future is going to look like when you know that you are the creator of your reality. Okay. So, one point I want to make here is that truth is light and lies are heavy. This is something that I want you to remember. Truth is light and lies are heavy. So, remember this whether you're sitting with someone in a reading or if you're navigating thoughts or stories inside of your own mind of any kind. Truth is light and lies are heavy. When we catch ourselves in, let's say, anxious spirals or obsessive thoughts of some kind, and we don't feel very comfortable in our bodies, it's because that story that's on loop is not the truth of who we are. It's the ego's constructs. It's a learned behavior. It's a learned thought from the past. It's something someone else said to us once, but it's not true. And when we feel uncomfortable in our bodies in that way, it's like a notification system to us. And I encourage you to view it like that. Like, ooh, I'm not feeling good. Like, what is my mind actually telling me in this moment? Maybe your mind's telling you you're not good enough for that relationship, or you're not good enough for that job, or, X doesn't like you or something because of XYZ. So when we have this uncomfortable feeling, it's a really great opportunity to shine a light as what is the story that I'm telling myself right now, because that story is ultimately a lie. Because if it was truth, it would be all light, love, and compassion, right? The truth is you're the creator of your reality and you are a perfect divine being. You are an immortal spiritual being having a temporary human experience. You can create the future that you so wildly dream of. Okay. So I know that sometimes when we get triggered in these readings, it's because someone is telling us, perhaps reading into a specific timeline, but not the timeline that we're going towards or the timeline that we are going to be riding on. So the reframe that I have for you on these triggers is that the universe is always in communication with us. The way that I like to look at triggers in readings is that it's let's say the reader said, "So you're going to be single for another decade." At one point in time, that would have been deeply triggering for me. But then I would use it as fuel. Like, okay, my guides might be nudging at me through this individual to deliver this message to me today, that I might have to light a little fire in that area of my life if I don't want it to be dormant. Like, let's say if I don't actually want to be single for the next 10 years and that's what someone predicted for me. Okay, let me fire it up in that area. Let me download an app. Let me go out to a new event this week and make conversation with new people, something like that, right? Sometimes I think that a powerful way to listen to this and take in this content from someone else is that, okay, my guides are pinging me to take action, right? If someone is predicting that there's an area of your life where you're not seeing the change that you would like to see, Okay, go out and make it happen. I like to use it as fuel. Like, no, that doesn't stick. And I'm the creator of my reality. So let me just start creating even more powerfully than I've ever created before. So, triggers are a natural part of life and they'll continue to happen as we grow and evolve. But remember that you always have the power of choice. Whenever we are making a conscious choice, we automatically feel freedom, right? When we don't feel like we have a choice, we don't feel free, we feel trapped or inhibited. So the next time that you receive a trigger in some kind, remember that you have the choice to create the reality that you desire. You have the choice to transmute this energy. You have the choice to let go of these words that someone reflected to you. You have the choice to release the planted seed in that potential timeline. And you have the choice to come back to the truth, which is ultimately remembering who you are. So I hope this podcast helped you guys. And like I said, I want to just validate that you're not alone in this. And there's so much power in triggers. I know that they are uncomfortable, but like each time that you get a trigger, it's such a great opportunity to grow and evolve and just integrate the shadow in different ways and ultimately just become that unstoppable version of you that just feels like the ultimate. So that's where we're all going. So I just want to also remind you that that's where we're all going here. And bless those triggers because they just showed you where you're not free. And there ain't nothing anyone can tell you about what your life's going to look like except you. So you have the power to create the loving, beautiful, abundant story that your heart truly desires. And with that, I'm really excited to see and hear about what all of you create. So, sending you all the love, and I will talk to you soon. Love you. Thank you for listening to Note to Self. If you enjoyed this episode, please help me out by rating and reviewing this show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If my energy is resonating with you and you feel the call to work with me, there are an abundance of ways to do so. I offer one-to-one life coaching programs, mastermind containers, and DIY courses, all of which are available through my website, zoearielpoulsen.com. Until next time, take note of all the abundance that surrounds you as you make the most of this game called life.